the end of my career, to actually be on the same stage with Coach Pitino, it was beyond special. He's the best coach I've ever gone up against.
Wow.
I'll tell you why. He knew exactly what I wanted to do and how to stop it. He knew what he wanted to do and how to stop it. He was in my head, and I've gone up against all of them. He was the best.
Well, that is pretty cool there. You heard from Bruce Pearl. Now you hear from the former coach, Bruce Pearl, on X. Stephen Pearl, his son, has already done something that his daddy could not do, beat the Hall of Famer, Rick Pitino. It's going to be a happy Thanksgiving. And that is the world of college basketball. Yesterday, Auburn got embarrassed by 30. They were down 9 in the first half.
With Bruce Pearl on the mic.
Yes.
So the moral of the story is Bruce Pearl will never call another Auburn game.
Are you making these calls now?
I guarantee you he will.
Or Steven's making that call, too.
That's right.
Come on. Let's call it what it is, right?
And the wife and the whole family. Anyway, great win. Great win for the Pearl family and for the Auburn family.
Yeah, an amazing second half for Auburn. They outscored St. John's 55-35. Welcome into the Players Era Game Break. I'm your host, Tim Doyle, alongside Seth Davis, Dennis Scott, Dalen Cuff. Wow. I mean, that's why you play 40 minutes, right? It was all St. John's. Really, in the first half, they were up 9. And then in the second half, we talked at halftime. Stephen Pearl got out his, well, he doesn't have the same experience as Rick Pitino. What did he tell his team, and why was it so effective?
I can't wait to see, we talked to Tahaad so we can say, what did Coach tell you? Because we all talked about in the pregame, what does a young coach tell a team that just got spanked by 30 the night before? 3 games in 3 nights. So it's not a lot of film time. There's no walkthrough. There's nothing you can say, prepare for a team. And you go out and beat Rick Pitino.
Wow.
Yes, no true point guard, but you do have some pieces.
Yeah.
You have an older team. But you didn't feed the big fella enough down the stretch. You was feeding him all night long. He doesn't touch the ball consistently. So Stephen Pearl did the right thing, and your superstar, Tahaad, stepped up and made big shots down the stretch.
Tahaad Pettiford was fantastic in this game. He took over at one point. He scored 10 straight points, DC, by himself. He put his team on his back.
He was outstanding, but it was a collective effort. We know he's their star. We know he can make plays, and he can make a ton of tough shots, and he takes some tough ones. But in this game, we talked about before the game, them sharing the ball and playing together. 11 assists on 16 made field goals in the second half. They had 3 total assists in yesterday's game.
Wow.
They had 5 for the first 10 minutes, 1 for the second 10 minutes of this game. When they got back to playing for each other and playing with each other, they dominated. Keyshawn Hall was excellent. Tahaad Pettiford was excellent. We'll come back to St. John's faults last time. Well, a little bit later. I mean, I got some thoughts on some of the players not giving edge for the ball.
Yes.
But this is all about learning about your team. You get crushed yesterday. They jump on St. John's. They get punched in the mouth. They go down double digits. They come back. Stephen Pearl's learned a lot about his guys in these last 48 hours.
Well, let's even rewind it back a little bit. First, remember, coming into this event, Tahaad Pettiford was shooting 27% from the floor, 17% from
Not
three.
good.
Not good. They start off the season, Stephen Pearl's head coaching career, fortunate to beat Bethune-Cookman at home in overtime in his first game. Then they play Houston and Birmingham, take a great team down to the wire, only losing by 1. Drilled last night, and then playing well again today. So this is the roller coaster ride that Stephen Pearl and this whole program is on after bringing everybody in. And I definitely agree with Dalen in terms of the team effort, but everybody knows Tahaad Pettiford is the head of the snake.
Yes, sir.
And once he's got to learn how to not let scoring impact the rest of his game, but
That's it.
There's nothing like seeing a couple of early ones go in. He was ridiculous in that second half, and that tipped over all the dominoes since then. And St. John's, once again, an inability to stop dribble penetration.
Real quick, Seth, but that's to your point. When he tested the draft, that's what they were looking to see. Is everything about you making shots? Because on the next level, every point guard is great. How can you facilitate, make everyone around you better?
Right.
So these first couple games, you've seen the ebbs and flows of him doing the right thing.
Also nice to make shots.
Of course, yes. Don't get me wrong,
That's
man,
still
yes.
plan A.
Yes. You still do what you do now.
Let's go to the highlight here. There's Rick Pitino. No tie last game, translated to a win. No tie this game, going up to Stephen Pearl.
Break out the Buzz Williams red pants. Like, we got to go down the list.
He's got the white suit.
That's right.
DC, you talked about Auburn early, moving the ball.
Yeah, they get this first 10 minutes. They were great. 5 assists the first 10 minutes. They were sharing the ball, playing together. Look at that move. Just great body control, using that little hop step, finishing with his weak hand. He's a lefty. And out in transition, they were really good in the first half, too.
Yeah, Tahaad Pettiford, he really got cooking in the second half. But yes, Auburn looked good, and then St. John's started doing their thing.
Yeah, well, you know, moving the ball around, you see the three-pointer in the corner, but just not enough of that.
A little sloppy underbounds play by Auburn, and woof, take off, young fella.
Yeah, Johnny, Zuby Ejiofor had 17 first half points. That's important because in the second half, they stopped feeding them the ball. Pettiford there on the pull-up. He is smooth, Dennis.
He's smooth. He has the confidence of the best. And that's the part you love about your best player, making shots, but the defense keeping him in the game. And then deep ball from Moneytown.
This was the run. They were down 61-55, a little 6-0 spurt to tie it, and then they just poured it on. Great inside out. Keyshawn Hall, huge game. He had 3 fouls at halftime.
Yep.
Finished with 3. He was able to play that whole second half without getting another foul.
Yeah, Keyshawn Murphy as well. He was in foul trouble.
Sorry, Murphy was what I was talking about.
He made some big shots. He made a huge 3 down the stretch. But to your point, DC, Auburn made 8 straight field goals. And then all of a sudden, what comes to haunt St. John's comes back to haunt them again. Now, I went back in the time machine to last year, and I know they were 2 of 22 against Arkansas when they lost in the tournament. But Seth, if you look at their last 4 losses, tonight, you go back to Iowa State, you look at Alabama this year, St. John's shooting from 3, 26%. Is this all of a sudden becoming mental?
No, I don't think they have enough good shooters. I mean, I think that was a problem last year. And not only do I think they don't have enough good shooters, they don't have playmakers. Like, you can play through your forwards as much as you want, and I know you guys were screaming that they weren't giving the ball to Ejiofor, but Auburn knows they need to get the ball to Ejiofor. So can you make a play? If you don't have someone who can make that play and beat someone off the dribble, then it's not that hard to deny the ball to who everybody knows is probably the best player in the game. And then when you couple that with the inability, this is the problem in the Alabama game, the inability to stop guards with their dribble penetration, it's quite a little matzo ball that Rick Pitino's got to serve softly over Thanksgiving.
And I said it in the back, hopefully some of these assistant coaches would take some of these guards in college basketball and teach them how to feed the post. Feeding the post is a lost art. There's no way Ejiofor should not have touched the ball that deep in the second half. And to your point, I understand you might not have a true point guard. Somebody cannot break their man down and get in the paint and make a simple bounce pass into the post.
You were spoiled because you played with Kenny Anderson in college. You're still looking for Kenny out there.
I'm super spoiled. For all the old, I even had old school Craig Neal who knew how to feed the post or give the ball to people. That drove me crazy down the stretch where your big guy is killing in the post and you can't feed him.
It's the irony of this is we got a Hall of Fame coach on the sideline telling him to throw the ball and get him the ball.
He's screaming it.
And the difference is with Ejiofor, because he's such a skilled passer and he's a good playmaker, they didn't necessarily just have him on the block. At times you can put him in the high post. You can put him on the elbow. You can put him in some dribble handoff action and roll it and do different things, which they are doing. But this is my issue as a player. They were opting not to look for him first.
Unbelievable.
He has to touch it every time down. Guys were trying to force bad positions, taking quick shots. He doesn't have to shoot it. He just has to touch it, and you become better, especially when it started to slip away. When you were up 6 and they made that little run at you, what do we got to do? We got to get him the ball. And if a Hall of Famer on top of that is telling your guys, as Robbie Hummel said at the broadcast, he's telling him to get him the ball, and they're opting out of it, that is malpractice by the players.
Well, tons of transfers, right? Guys don't know their roles. Guys are still figuring out. I mean, you know Zuby's the guy, but
he thought Ian Jackson was going to play this role, and unfortunately, it hasn't happened yet. Might still.
There he is. There's Hollywood. We see you, Hollywood. We see you.
Yeah, with Tahaad Pettiford. We saw him 2 games ago. We didn't see him last game because, let's be honest, it wasn't pretty for Auburn. And then you go into the half, Tahaad. This is Tim Doyle, and you're down 9. And you had a lead. You kind of fell apart at the end of the first half. Coach Pearl, when he got into the locker room, what was the message that inspired you guys? Because you guys were sensational in that second half.
The first 11 minutes out there, we looked like a team, and we started to break down, which caused us to lose a lead. So going to halftime, we just told them, do what we did the first 11 minutes. They got us the lead and got us going, and we came out there with the same energy we had to start the game, and we finished it out strong.
Tell the world how you're able to play with so much confidence, because when you're not shooting the ball well, you figured out a way to get your teammates involved. In second half, you found your hot hand. Talk about your confidence.
Just having teammates and coaches that have my back. Even if I'm not hitting shots, they just tell me to keep going. And second half, I came out there knowing that we were down and that my team needed me to step up. And, this is the moment that I want to step up, so I did.
Tahaad, you said we played like a team the first 11 minutes. You definitely did the second 20 on both sides of the ball. You had 11 assists, 16 field goals. We know you can make and you take a bunch of tough shots and make a bunch of them. But how do you make you guys play collectively like that, like you did in the last 20 minutes as you move forward in the season?
Just running our sets, running what our coach tells us to run and just stop breaking down and stop trying to do what we try to do ourselves. And as we play as a team, as you can see, we looked unstoppable out there today.
Hey, Tahaad, Seth Davis, congratulations again. You lose by 30 last night to a very good Michigan team, but that's a big number, 30 points. What was the vibe in the locker room, and how concerned were you about the team's confidence at that point?
You know, obviously you guys were down, not losing by 30. That's something nobody wants to go through. But, you know, I just told them it's more basketball to be played. You know, we got a game tomorrow, so we just can't dwell on that game tonight. We got to get ready for today. We have another top 15 team. And, you know, that's what we did. We didn't dwell on it. We went back, watched film, and got ready for today.
T, last one for you. 3 games in 3 nights. How do the legs feel? Does it feel like an AAU week? Tell the fans at home, playing 3 games in 3 nights, high-level basketball, how your body feels.
I'm tired, man. I just can't wait to get back. But, you know, this is what we like to do. This is the game we love. So just got to push through these type of games, and that's what we did today. Just can't wait to get back to Auburn.
Well, Tahaad, Pettiford, a
stuff,
sensational performance. You were outstanding in Las Vegas. Carry that momentum over the rest of the season. Congratulations.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Tahaad Pettiford, the outstanding sophomore for Auburn. And next, we're going to watch another talented folk. Cameron Carr.
He can fly. He can fly.
Got no run at Tennessee. He's come to Baylor. He's getting you 20 a night. He's next. Baylor, San Diego State. That's on True.